are the Matenuska Mountains. Coming up into what's called the Glacier View area. I don't know, 30, 40, 50 miles. Area, next half mile, do not stop. Falling rock. To the right. Pump. station. Okay, we're taking site number 2. I was worried it said on the website there were only 6 sites. What if we don't get one? Well, we get here and there's 10 sites and there's nobody else here. So I guess we're not complaining, eh, Steve?
Nope. Pretty quiet so far.
Nice brushy wooded sites. I'm sure further down we can walk and get some of the glacier view. The name of this place is Matenuska Glacier View. So it's $25 a night, right on our budget for a rustic site. What do you think, Nick? Good idea? It's just a single loop with 10 sites, some outhouses, and way up here at the entry I saw a pitcher pump for water, but we're all filled up. We're fine. We saw frozen lakes not too far away. It's a tad bit chilly up here. We're at a pretty high elevation. But right in this little valley, things have greened up, so I think it's a little warmer. So here we are on site number 2. We had to level out a little bit. Not too bad.
Today I'm going to demonstrate how I fill these 16-ounce refillable containers for propane, and from our 1-gallon propane tank. So in this kit that I use to do this with, they come with these legs that we screw onto the propane tank. And then this device, it's the filler device that we screw onto the outside of the propane bottle. And then we take these tops off of our propane cylinder.
Okay, let's see the top of that. Why is it different than a normal throwaway green one?
Well, they have these pressure releases on them that you twist, and it releases the gas so they can fill more propane into them. So then I'll take this down. There's a little pin here that has to go into this orifice here to line up correctly. So I put that on there. There we go. You screw it tight, and then you flip over the tank and the bottle together. Then you open up the valve on the
large cylinder,
and then all you do is hold this down and it will fill the tank. And then you open this little valve occasionally, and you can hear it let out the air out of the tank.
So what you're actually adding to these small cylinders is liquid propane.
Yes, that's correct.
If you had done it with this large tank right side up, it would just be vapor propane, correct?
Correct.
And that would not fill up the cylinder correctly.
So you wait until you can see a little vapor come out of the tank, and then it's full.
Not vapor. liquid?
Yeah, liquid.
Okay.
And that should be about it for this one. Then you let go of that, and you. Oh, I put this too tight. There we go. Remove it. And there you have it. A full.
And these are made by Mr. Heater. Okay, now originally on the throwaway green cylinders, Steve used to refill those with a different device, a different adapter, but it kind of messes up that little plunger inside and the little O-ring, correct?
Correct.
After a while, after so many refills. Plus, when he was doing the green ones, he had to first set the green containers in our freezer to change the temperature of them so the liquid would fill in. It was much more difficult to do before he bought this kit. Plus, those green cylinders aren't made to be refilled anyhow, and they can only be redone so many times before this little center part doesn't work anymore, right?
Correct.
So these are a much better design to be refilled.
So we'll try the next one.
So do you remember how much it cost you to fill up this 1 gallon tank, the large white tank?
It varies, but it's only 1 gallon of propane, so.
Of liquid propane. It was like a couple bucks.
Yeah.
So each time you fill one of these little containers, in the regular store, these are like $5 each, the green ones, the throwaway ones, correct?
Minimum.
Yeah. So we save a lot of money by refilling these tanks ourselves. We use these for our cooking grill. You use them for your Blackstone. We use them for our camp light. We have a camp light that can attach to them. And also we use our catalytic heater from Coleman as a supplementary heat source in the camper on the really cold days that we're camping.
And then that's full, so then I turn off the propane tank and remove the small 16-ounce tank.
1 pounder.
1 pounder. And that's it. Then just remove the parts.
And Bob's your uncle?
And Bob's your uncle.
We're laughing because we watch a Canadian YouTuber that uses that term. I guess it's a pretty common term in Canada.
Yeah.
And Bob's your uncle, meaning it's pretty easy. Well, I think also that Nova Scotia guy that we watch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Kevin Wald says it, and Scote. What's his name? Scote Outdoors? I forget the full name. I'll put links to both of their channels below because we enjoy watching both of them on YouTube. And they use that terminology, Bob's your uncle. So one guy is a full-time RVer in his pickup truck, and the other guy is right now rebuilding a beautiful island, a home that he had purchased relatively reasonable, an abandoned home, and he's restoring it and homesteading there.
And becoming a farmer.
Yeah, he's becoming a farmer. So those are the two of the videos we watch on YouTube that we kind of laugh that use the same terminology. So Steve just saved us $10 right here. Always the bargain hunting guy. But it's kind of nice because now that he can fill his own with this device, we picked this up at Three Bears in Alaska. But right before we left home, we were going to order this online from Amazon, and I'll put a link below. This unit itself was what, $32?
I think so, yeah.
$32 for this device. And then for each of these special cylinders that go with it, they were about $20 each. So there's the initial investment of like $72, but it's going to be saving us in the long run because we do use them a lot. So what's going on in the What Have You camper tonight for supper? Let's see. We have thawed boneless pork chops. And we're going to bake them in the oven. First, we had a little tin foil over our pan to make it easy cleanup, easy for washing dishes. And here I have seasoned breadcrumbs. And what I do is I add some Italian seasoning, you know, oregano, and I add salt and pepper, and I add a little bit of parsley, season them up. And some people dredge their product in egg yolk or egg whites or whatever. I've never really done that. I just kind of put them in the bag, shake them up, squish them all over, and then as they're baking, I use just a little bit of excess breadcrumbs. Each time I flip it over, I add a few more. Then once I'm done, I throw this bag away. I never keep it for next time because, of course, it's had raw meat in it. That's why I take it out of the container and put it in the bag. There we go. So here we have 2 of them ready to go in the oven. And I kind of just shake a little extra over the surface. I do that again after I flip them. So I throw them in the oven about, I don't know, it's at I think 375 and bake them for a while until they're ready to flip. And then I test them again with the meat thermometer. So what else are we going to have with them? Well, usually Steve makes mashed potatoes. But we tried a little pouch of these Idaho original mashed potatoes the other day, and they were pretty good. So I thought to save time tonight, I would just make up another kettle of those. And I happen to have a can of corn. I'm going to do up some corn on the stove with a little bit of butter and salt, a little bit of parsley. And then I think I'll put together a little green salad. So that's dinner tonight. Okay, I think we are done. There we go, 2 breaded pork chops. And I had already used the meat thermometer to make sure they were up to 165. In this kettle, we have our instant mashed potatoes. I added a little bit of parsley to it, some salt and pepper, a little bit of butter. And over here we have some canned corn. And I think dinner is ready. And Steve said it's never complete until I plate it up ready to serve. And there we go. Dinner tonight in What Have You? Good morning. It is the 5th of June, Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're going to be taking off from Glacier View Rec Site, and we're heading towards Palmer, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going that far.
No, not as far as Palmer.
Yeah, but anyhow, it's kind of cold and damp this morning, pretty miserable weather, but we're going to just drive over to the Glacier View rather than walking this morning. It's a little bit too cold.
Okay.
So we're just pulling up the levelers, and Steve's going to back up off our leveling blocks because the site was a little crooked overnight. Mm-hmm. So we took care of that. Also, we met an interesting individual named Pascal, and he is working on a documentary, and he is riding his bike from Anchorage all the way down to South America, a bicycle. We had time to spend with him and chit-chat, and also we offered charging services off of our Blue Eddy for all of his camera equipment and phone.
Yeah.
And he was a really interesting guy.
Yes, he is.
So I'll put a link below in the description about his journey, and I'll include a couple photos right in here that we took with him.
Yeah, I think he's got a YouTube.
Yes, I'll put the links down there.
Okay.
He has a website along with a lot of links to other social media, as well as his YouTube and Facebook. But he is working on a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a chance to visit with him and share some experiences. And he's looking at the connection between people, cultures, and nature, and what it means to your soul and being in nature and what you find within yourself. So we'll learn more about it as he travels along, and when he finishes his documentary, we'll be really pleased to watch it because we're kind of part of it at the beginning of his journey.
Yeah, sounds good.
Heading towards Chickaloon. This is all rock slide area. Well, at least here there's a guardrail. In the last stretch there wasn't. Steve is carefully downshifting and having the engine help us maneuver these hills and steep grades rather than just riding the brakes. The Mercedes chassis here with this engine has a paddling effect on the shifter lever, and you paddle it back and forth for downshifting. It's kind of interesting. But it helps us on these steep grades. Quite the rainy, icky morning. And of course, we just had to get a rock chip in our windshield. Here we are on pavement after 120 miles worth of gravel road out to McCarthy and back with nothing. Suddenly a car goes by and we got a little rock chip right there on the windshield. I don't know if you can see it. So we checked ahead, and there is a safe light up ahead in Wasilla. We're going to stop and see about having it repaired. We have repair kits with us, but it's probably better just to let them do it. On a rainy, icky, damp day, we don't want to be messing with it ourselves, but we'd like it repaired before it spreads any further. We do have windshield glass replacement insurance that will replace the entire windshield with a deductible. But if we have the chip repaired, it doesn't cost us anything. And a tree growing right out of the cliff. Right in the middle. Coming and what we can look ahead to, and helping us plan our